We start tonight with dozens of journalists who cover the Pentagon giving up their press badges and walking out of the building this week.
The group of journalists from a wide range of outlets declined to accept the Pentagon's new rules for the press. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp joins us now live. Good evening, Rachel.
Well, good evening, Mike and Eva. So essentially, the Pentagon was asking these journalists to sign somewhat like a pledge agreement. And in that pledge agreement, one of the big things that stands out is that these reporters would not be able to report on anything, including unclassified information, unless it was approved by the Pentagon. Now, the administration calls this common sense rules, but press freedom advocates say that these are unconstitutional. Early Wednesday evening, dozens of journalists were seen leaving the Pentagon carrying boxes of their belongings. These journalists turned in their access badges rather than agree to the Pentagon's newly imposed restrictions on their work. The new rules would have restricted reporters' access inside the building without an official escort, and reporters would not be able to report on any news, even if unclassified, unless it had approval from the Pentagon. The administration calls these new rules common sense, but press freedom advocates call it unconstitutional.
We've got a premise that all unauthorized reporting is a risk to national security, and that is what Pete Hegseth is operating on. That is absolutely absurd and baseless. If anything, unauthorized reporting of information the government does not want people to know, bolsters national security by exposing corruption. The First Amendment exists so that the press can publish what the government does not want. We wouldn't need a First Amendment if the intent was for the press to publish what the government does want.
Nearly every major news outlet, including NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, The New York Times, and Fox News, announced they would not sign the Pentagon's press policy.
Journalists are there as watchdogs to hold people with a lot of power accountable. There couldn't be matters more of higher public concern, honestly, than the ones that are being dealt with by officials in the Pentagon. Often they're matters of life and death, peace and war. These are critically important matters. New restrictions that prevent journalists from reporting in the public interest are really problematic.
We reached out to the Pentagon for comment, but they did not get back to us. From what we're told, OAN is the only major news outlet that did sign that Pentagon agreement, but that is, again, the only major news outlet that we've heard of so far. Now, other organizations like the White House Correspondents Association, the Congressional Radio TV Correspondents Association have signed statements supporting the Pentagon Press Association, saying in part that unfettered reporting on military affairs is part of all of our press freedom. Back to you.